Hi, I'm Dr. Rajani, and today I'm giving you 5 reasons why your sunspots, why your brown spots are worsening, and 5 things that you can do about them to improve them. I'm actually going to give you over 25 years of experience under 10 minutes.
Because a lie is just a great story that someone ruined with the truth.
Well, I tried to do it in under 10. It took me 14 minutes. Sorry about that.
Because I've owned dozens of different devices over the years, probably well over 30 to 40. I've performed thousands of chemical peels. I'm involved in skincare, but most importantly, I use 3D imaging, and I've done so since 2010 to measure within my clinic the sunspots, the brown spots, wrinkles, sun damage, and many different views to assess the outcomes of what works best.
This video will therefore save you a ton of time and heartbreak. Yes, I said heartbreak. Look at these images of what goes wrong if you don't do the right treatment for your skin type, use the exact right device, or find the best provider. And later on, I'll show you a deep chemical peel that's much like a burn. This is not to scare you, but educate you. Avoid these disasters.
We're going to go through today, first of all, why these happen. I'm going to give you the solutions, because we need solutions. And most importantly, I'll also tell you how much money you can expect to pay for each one. Now, the number one cause by far and away is sun damage. It's also the reason that you get wrinkles, that you get thinning in the skin and facial fat pad loss. But if you took away photo damage from my patients in my clinic, I pretty much wouldn't have a job to do. It's that important. Over 80% of your aging occurs from sun damage, and sun, of course, triggers brown spots and melanin, and you get them often more on one side of the face than others because of exposure is not usually symmetric on your face. Most importantly, as we see through 3D imaging, you might see some today, and then they just get worse and worse. So they kind of sprout up. Why? Because you've had sun damage as a child, and those brown spots are still coming forward through your skin. And that's why this is maintenance, and you'll need likely ongoing treatments over the years. Number two, something we're always catching up on and trying to maintain is simply aging. With aging comes thinning of the skin, changes in the fat pads in the face, and of course, the fat pads have your mesenchymal stem cells and rejuvenating factors, and your ability to repair itself decreases. This all leads to more brown spots forming. Number three that I see in my clinic, because it's over 85% women walking in, is hormonal changes. From things like melasma, and I have complete videos on that, to simply decreasing estrogen thins the skin, has many effects on bone, but it makes the skin more susceptible to UV damage, and you get more sunspots. Next is previous tanning, and this is a big one because many people are in their 50s and 60s when they start addressing the brown spots. You really have to start in your 30s, but people in that generation, tanning beds, tanning booths, they were all the rage. And so remember I said the sunspots come up from before? Well, it's also from the photo damage, but also from tanning booths. Some people even use them today still. Finally, we have genetic predisposition. Some people just genetically get more sunspots than others. And of course, on lighter skin, you tend to see the brown spots more. Darker skin, you might not see them, but that's why darker skin, I'll be in that category, we tend to suffer from sag more than coming into a clinic and saying, oh, I got brown spots everywhere. We say, oh, my face is sagging. Now, number one, let's start with skincare. I'm not even going to include SPF because we're going to assume that one. But more active products, you want to optimize your glycolics and your retinols. And you can add a vitamin C now in retinols with THD ascorbate. And vitamin C, of course, helps brighten the skin and helps with brown spots. But both retinols and glycolics work great. One helps, of course, increase the turnover of cells. The retinols and the glycolics help lighten, brighten, and exfoliate. It's a great combination. I always recommend, for those that don't want peels, especially think about peel pads. But incorporating peel pads into your routine really, really helps. Now, there's another cream, and I like it a lot. And some of you are scared of hydroquinones, but I've used them for over 25 years. I like them. The one I get compounded for my clinic. I use an 8% hydroquinone, and it has a bit of steroid in it, and it even has tretinoin in it. So those are good products. You want to cycle those, and there's a specific way to use hydroquinones, but I like those, and that's what you want to consider for brown spots in your skincare. And of course, those are all, just think about $100 each for skincare. I think one of the most important things with your skincare, you have to be on a routine and something that you're going to use. You have to get to know your skin because, of course, inflammation leads to more brown spots, and a lot of people try and scrub them off, over-exfoliate, use too much retinols or glycolics. You need to have patience here. You need to have a skincare routine that works for you. If that's more complex, great, you want to layer. If you want something super easy, go to your basics. But quizmd.com is a site that I have that will help you get into a skincare routine that will suit you. Whatever it is for you, get on a regular skincare routine with those products. Now, I want to make sure you watch this video, especially till the end, because trying to get rid of sunspots is where people tend to damage their skin and get irreversible pigmentation and scarring. So this is an ultra important video for most of you, especially skin types 1 through 4. Next on our list, again, something you can do at home and something that's not that expensive, and it's chemical peels. Should you do them at home? It's something you want to really educate yourself on, get to know your skin, and make sure you're using great products. For most people, I'm going to say you want to leave it to the professionals because they do this day in and day out, and they might change your routine based on their experience. Now, what am I talking about here? The ingredients you want to think of. Number 1, think of glycolic peels, TCA peels I like. The other one is a combination peel. And those are often going to include things like phenol, things like tretinoin that we spoke about in skincare, and vitamin C. And then they'll include a glycolic or TCA component, typically a TCA component with those combinations. And hitting things with combinations for everything is always better than a singular product, except in this case, if you want to go for the big heavy hitting phenol peel, that's a big deal. Most people can't take the recovery. That's a peel where you have to have your heart monitored. Some people get IV sedation. You really, if you're getting a peel like that, you need to have a physician expert who does this all the time. And think about 6 weeks to 12 weeks to even 4 months of healing time for these.
This is called the phenol chemical peel. What you're seeing is the top layer of skin being pulled off. It's the deepest and most effective type of chemical peel. This type of peel can penetrate deeper into the skin than other peels. Phenol peels can treat harsh skin imperfections like acne scars, deep wrinkles, and advanced aging. You have to be very careful with this treatment because if too much phenol is applied, you can get a potentially fatal arrhythmia.
But you get a ton of skin tightening and skin rejuvenation. So peels go from superficial, like your peel pads, all the way up to really aggressive ones, but they work amazingly well. What do I prefer? I prefer medium depth peels, especially if you're going to go see a provider. And in this case, think about under $500. Think about starting with 3. Say you're 50 and you have sunspots. Start with 3, and then you might only do 1 a year for maintenance, because you're going to have such a great home skincare routine, and things you can do at home now are way better. They're so much more improved than even 5 years ago, the formulations we're making now. Now, before we go on, if you're getting value out of this video, please like and subscribe. Number 3 on the list is IPL, Intense Pulse Light. Understand this is not laser. Laser is a defined wavelength of light. IPL is a broad band of light, so think about a large spectrum of light, and we put filters into the device. I love this. It's the least expensive. It's less expensive than most lasers. The devices are ubiquitous. Almost every clinic will have one, but you can target different things, even rosacea at the same time in the same sitting. So broad band light, and you filter different wavelengths for things like hair removal, for rosacea, and in today's video, we're talking brown spots. Intense Pulse Light. And you'll find packages of this for like $400. I would stay away. IPL is something you can burn people. You can get striping, spotting, more pigment. Burning is the number 1. And then, of course, that leads to scarring. a great clinic, someone who does this all the time, is a specialist in it. Think about $500 per session, and you probably get a package of 4 for $1,500. But remember, then you go on your skincare maintenance. You might not need another IPL for another year, 2 or 3, unless you have rosacea. That would be where you might need a little more maintenance, and you'd get an IPL maybe every 6 months to a year, depending on if your rosacea is progressing or not. But that's IPL. Love that. So we had skincare number 1. Number 2, we had chemical peels. Number 3, IPL. Number 4, we're at lasers. Now, keep in mind, a laser is not RF microneedling. RF microneedling is RF. A laser is not Ulthera. Ulthera is high intensity focused ultrasound. And then there's HIFU proper. Lasers are specific beams of light at a specific wavelengths to target something specific, in this case, browns. So when you think of laser, now there's these wavelengths have been around forever. So when you hear about the new latest and greatest, chances are it's something reinvented and marketing to you. Think about FRAXELs. There's many different FRAXELs. The wavelengths you're looking for here, the original FRAXEL is 1550 nanometer. If you go to the dual, which is probably the best one, FRAXEL dual of the FRAXEL line for your brown spots, you're going to get your 1550, and then it's a 1929, I'm going to say. It's in the 1900 wavelengths. And that's a good one. It's an oldie, been around forever, shouldn't cost you that much, but that's a good one. When you go up to things like, you're going to say, well, what about halo? Halo would be like a 2940 wavelength, again, to target brown spots. But there's many lasers that you can get at different wavelengths approximating that. So the key here is, forget about the marketing and the name. If you're going to a great clinic that uses that 3, 4, 5 times a day and they're treating a bunch of people, they've been around for a while, the user of the laser is way more important. Think about a car. A car can do good, it can do bad, depends who's driving it. An airplane, a thing, a device. So there's no new magical wavelength. There's just new marketing to you. Don't get caught up in that. Use the device that your practice, your med spa, your doctor that you're going to uses, and they know it best. With lasers, let's also include CO2. That's a little more aggressive, around 10,400 nanometers, targets water. A real CO2 laser, you're going to have 3 weeks of downtime, and then the redness can last 6, 8, 10, 12 weeks. I've done hundreds of those. I don't do as many anymore because people can't take that downtime, but that is a good aggressive treatment. Now, would you just need one? Unfortunately, no. We thought that around 2006, 7, 8, I would say. We thought, oh, you'll do 1 CO2, we'll hammer your skin, and that's all you'll need. You're going to still need 2 to 3, but you're going to get a little more tightening effect. And many people went from CO2 down to the erbium yags, like the halos, the FRAXEL duals, and thought, hey, there's less skin damage, we're getting as much tightening. So CO2, I still love it actually, but there are clinics that stop doing it due to the side effect profile. But if you find a great user for CO2, it's great. Now there's one more here you're going to want to know about for overall rejuvenation, and we see sunspots actually improve quite a bit, and there's studies on PRP actually helping melasma and brown spots. PRF is the next step up. And when I was making those protocols for PRF, I noticed dark spots, brown spots get better, and you can mesotherapy it in, meaning microneedling. So there's no laser. It's a lot safer than some of the lasers, especially if you don't have a good technician or provider using it. And microneedling, PRF, can help greatly with sunspots, but you also get nice tightening and texture changes, pore reduction. And remember, facial fat pads in the face, when you lose them with age and photo damage, that makes people look, quote unquote, older. That creates an age look. So with this, you're getting some brown spots, you're getting some rejuvenation, you're getting some tightness of the skin, and you're getting some PRF down into those fat pads. So you overall look great. Now, it's not your number one target for brown spots, I will say, but for many of you, if you're using chemical peels, especially at home, if you're using great skincare, this is all you're going to need to reduce your brown spots, and maybe a couple chemical peels per year. And then specific brown spots, you're saying, oh, they're not going, add a little laser once in a while, or IPL would be better for singular spots, but you see how combinations would be better. You can combine all of these to get a little bit of all the results and overall rejuvenation for your skin. So you can experiment and use them together. It's not like you need one or the other of these. Now, I did say that photo damage accounts for a lot of your aging. You're now going to want to watch this video on facial fat pads and how to maintain them, and one down here on LED light and how you can use that to help your facial fat pads rejuvenate your skin, get overall glow, and more. Stay tuned here. Keep your skin and body beautiful, healthy, and vibrant.